Welcome again students to Political Science class on 𝕤𝕦𝕦𝕪. I am Dr. 𝕤𝕦𝕦𝕪. Today, under international organizations in your textbooks, I will be teaching you about the Organization of African Unity, its aims and its principles. The Organization of African Unity, also called the OAU, was established on May 25, 1963 in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. The Organization of African Unity was formed by 32 independent African countries from 3 different international groups, which united to create a single organization with the aim of bringing the African nations together and resolving their issues within the continent. The first of these international groups was the Casablanca Group, which came into existence in January 1961. It was made up of 7 African states, which include Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Libya, Guinea, Mali and Algeria. The Casablanca Group was a group that called for the immediate political integration of all African countries. This meant that the group was in favor of a politically united federation of all African states. Second was the Brazzaville Group, which was made up of 12 member states including Mauritania, Cameroon, Congo-Brazzaville, Madagascar, Ivory Coast, Chad, Senegal, Dahomey, Gabon, Upper Volta, Niger Republic and Central Africa Republic. Third was the Monrovia Group, which was made up of 8 African countries comprised of Nigeria, Liberia, Somalia, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, Congo, Togo and Tunisia. The Monrovia Group was a moderate bloc that demanded for a gradual political integration of African states. Now we will look at the creation of these 3 groups. The creation of the Casablanca Group was spearheaded by 3 key African figures, which were Sir Francis Kwame Nkrumah, who was a Ghanaian politician and Pan-Africanist who served as the first president of Ghana; Sékou Touré, a Guinea politician and Pan-Africanist who served as the first president of Guinea; and Gamal Abdel Nasser, an Egyptian politician and Pan-Arabist who served as the second president of Egypt. Key African figures who spearheaded the formation of the Monrovia Group include Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, who served as the first Prime Minister of Nigeria and a leading figure in the Monrovia Group; William Tubman, who was the president of Liberia. Sir William Tubman was a moderate leader who advocated for gradual independence and economic cooperation among African states. Milton Magai, who also served as the first Prime Minister of Sierra Leone and a supporter of William Tubman's and Tafawa Balewa's approach to African cooperation and unity. The headquarters of the Organization of African Unity was situated in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. The first chairman of the OAU was Sir Haile Selassie. What was the main aim and objectives of the Organization of African Unity? Some of the key aims of the OAU were to encourage political and economic integration among African states, promoting international peace and to eradicate colonialism from the African continent. The OAU would achieve this by adhering to the following principles, which include 1. The principle of sovereignty. This meant that all states are sovereign and that none should be brought under the control of any other state. Second was the principle of settlement of disputes. The OAU agreed that all disputes among the member states should be settled peacefully. Third was the principle of emancipation of all African territories. This denotes the international cooperation of all African countries to free the entire continent from colonial rule. Fourth was the policy of non-interference. This principle of the OAU stated clearly that no African country has the right to interfere in the internal affairs of another African country. Fifth was the policy of non-alignment. This meant that all members of the OAU were expected to discuss and address international issues objectively without taking sides. Key points in this class which you need to note are these. The OAU was founded on 25th of May, 1963. It was established at the capital of Ethiopia, which is called Addis Ababa. The main aims and objectives of the OAU was for all African countries to work towards economic cooperation and eradication of colonialism in Africa. In the next class, we will look into the institutional structure of the defunct Organization of African Unity and why it was disbanded.